Yeah, little prof here. Get some lights on. Make a quick video for you guys. I gotta at some point clean up around here. Was just working on my AV knife, my Gen 1. I'm debating adding an accent. I got some Rust-Oleum, like sunflower sunburst, very similar to that Cerakote. I might add it as a color accent. Just kind of, otherwise everybody's just look like plain old stainless steel, and it gets kind of boring. We are making this video, if you haven't told, I guess, found out by the description, is not about the new Nip Extend players, or the fact that you're able to buy newly refurbished DeWalt 8-volt electric screwdrivers. All you are probably like, why are you even showing that stuff? That's not in here. Nor are you here for my amiibo that I still have to open for Donkey Kong. Or you're also not here about the Gen 2 MagSafe charger. You're here for my Japanese music collection. Just had to free up some space here. Let's grab the old Tuck HD Smooth. I see the AV knife in some videos going forward. It'll finally come in. This guy is forwarded to Tenso. I had a couple things that, it's the first time I think I've seen Japan use US style, like puff it up, or like, well, these come just as like film, and you have an inflator. We had that for bubble wrap at Best Buy as well. This is the first time I've seen this in Japan, though. Or coming from Japan, I guess I should say. Well, Paisley's gonna be happy. Apparently, how the Spellbound sends stuff is in these rice bags. And Paisley loves to go over to this one. Not got no music. Also, it's basically where the Spellbound, or where he does stuff. And she sharpens her claws on this thing like a mad animal. So she's gonna love the fact. Yep, this one's. I don't. Maybe this is like if you buy it from. This is what they deliver / shipping. But if I recall, that's like a rice bag. I think there was some reasoning why they come / ship via that. But I don't remember what it is. So, no comment though. I forgot I have this big giant stack of Amazon and other padded envelopes over there. Maybe we'll have like just a random crap video. So 2 items. Ooh, from 9mm Parabellum bullet. And 1 item from the Spellbound. I'm remembering what this is again. Hey, there's my last name. That's from the Nip Extend from players you just saw came from Australia. And I really need to scan in some receipts. Damn. I'll let that go for a few months. I didn't even realize another week had passed. It's been crazy. On the topic of, I guess it wouldn't be Japanese music, but it'd be VTubers if you gotta watch it. You gotta watch Gigi Murin's 3D debut. That is, whew. If you guys have been part of. Oh, Paisley's here with the bag. Yeah, did you bring the bag? Yeah. Hey, Paisley Marie. How are you? If you've been a part of interculture, especially since the early days, we're gonna kick out our 3D debut. Here, I want to show you something. Come here. Yeah, you got it on a bag. What's this? Look, it's two. There's two of them. You don't want that? You want to see what she wants? Yeah, did you steal my chair? Paisley? Paisley Mary? Yeah. What's this? You bring that back? You forgot the bag. Paisley? Yeah, are we supposed to be sitting down watching anime? Alright. Let's get this box for the guys and gals out there. So this is another Nakano Music Spellbound exclusive. Spellbound, I actually did watch this one streaming. Big Love Volume 2 2024 Voyager. 2024 11/3 live at X Theater Roppongi. DVD video. Yeah, still releasing brand new DVDs in Japan. I'm pretty sure this is streamed in HD, yet is released on a DVD. Interesting. Download live audio. I'm guessing in here is a code to also, because you can get a digital download. You guys can see that. Give it a shot. Usually, I mean, like, Nakano has had the early pre-Spellbound stuff, which was this, like, solo works that ended up being, like, the precursor to the Spellbound, as well as early Spellbound stuff. Available as just high-res wave downloads on their website. As long as you knew the correct code, you know? Busy. So that's a nice one to add to the collection. This one, because it does say there's a download code on the outside, I'm going to crack her open and make sure I get that before the download expires, because that does happen. And at times I have been known to let those expire. Yeah, you're like, wait, aren't you into music? Why wouldn't you open it up soon enough? Life happens. When you're trying to get a promotion at work in this case, you push, you know? Let's see how that goes. Now, these two are, as far as I can tell, brand new re-releases of their 9mm Parabellum bullets first two albums. I don't know if they're considered, they might be considered mini albums because they are quite short. Oh, this one's got a DVD in it too. I didn't even know there was a DVD part of Pantomime. 2-disc CD, DVD, stereo, 1890 yen. Zankyo Record Office. Number 2. Zankyo prohibited. All rights. It doesn't even though it says all rights reserved and stuff. Normally they would have a year on this. Either way, these were a new listing. It does say 2006 99. 9mm Parabellum Bolt always tries to do stuff on 9.9, like have their releases on that, have their big lives on that. 5/12/08 for Galhorn. Under bar. So yeah, these, maybe they've either found original releases of their CDs and are just selling them through their web store. Either way, I don't have the original 2 in CD, because at this time, to my knowledge, there was no way to get them in the US. I don't even know if back in the day you would be able to get it through CD Japan. But directly on 9mm Parabellum's web store, that's where I was able to order these. That is, what is it? Something Records. Sazanga Record Shop. I'm probably saying that one completely wrong, but here's my Google search. You're like, oh, white mode, yeah. For some friggin' reason in Firefox, even though you go to other settings, dark theme on, Google, you're fucking drunk. And then it'll last for like 1 or 2 searches and then revert. Google's drunk. Here, I'll show refresh. See, refresh again. Oh, it did work that time. There you go. Okay, so Zen Market, they used to this wasn't available when I ordered, because I ordered and I had to forward it through Tenso, as you saw with my unboxing. They used to have like something like World Market or something. This is if you needed a place that would just kind of like, you order through here and it would just order for you. This wasn't on the site. Like I said, they've had a couple over the years. But yeah, so these are automatically filtered by newest to oldest. Like I have all of these. So it was very odd that they suddenly had their original 2 albums on here. And I didn't have them. First mini album, I consider it in second CD. So I picked them up because I think it's 9mm JP. Let's see if it'll go. There you go, discography. Click this down. So way down here, see? iTunes and Amazon Co.jp. I wonder what that takes you to. Because iTunes would be like, back then we're talking iTunes, like iTunes Japan, right? We're not talking Apple Music. It does redirect now to Apple Music, but that would have been, iTunes Japan. Japanese bestseller. Yeah, I'd have to go look on. Let's just do Pantomime. Go to CD Japan. Somehow I ended up on NeoWin, which is like the actual Japanese website of CD Japan. Oh, this is what happens. I don't know why, but searching in my Firefox right now. Let's try to just disable ad blocker. All right. I think I tried this already though, and even though you paste search, hit search, it still just says, oh, search data is not available at this time. And no matter what combination of ad blockers I run, it just, for some reason, yeah, it's not a huge do because they still don't have, they've added translation to Firefox now. Japanese is not. It's mostly, I think, Latin-based languages that are in there. There you go. New old stock. New old stock. So stored physical store for long time. Item may have discolored damage. So they did, and I'm guessing that's what the red in here may be referencing. I think Edge has translation. Paste and go. It did translate. It uses Bing Translate though. Oh, that's 1 month for delivery to arrive. But my guess is that that is what this is referencing. New old stock. Because it was odd to see them list their original album and not have it be like a remastered or re-released version. So, and yeah, here, we don't even have Gjallarhorn on here. Like that's what I'm talking about is normally I would do latest first or oldest first. Yeah, Pantomime is the oldest that's on here. So that's what I mean. Like back in the day, I wouldn't have been able. I mean, let's just say, as we all know, I acquired it, right? And it would have been after this was out for a bit, because I think 08, late 07 would have been when I got into 9mm Parabellum Bullet. But I was pumped to see these, and I didn't know, like I said, there's not too much on the website. But I was like, hey, either these are like remastered, re-release, or they got the permission to re-release them under their new label. Or it turns out, because I was starting to see on the plastic here, like this looks like to be the original release to me. With how it had aged, and you see how it's starting to like wave on there. That's like old cellophane, right? And this is their old label. Like this is what they originally released under. This is pre them being under I forget who they were under. Maybe Universal? That's probably incorrect. But they then made their own label. We'd have to look under 9mm Vampire label. There we go. I was right. Universal. Aha. Universal. So maybe like I just sometimes you ever do that, like you inherently know something but you don't think that you know something, so you like question it. Yeah. But yeah, so that's pre them being on like a big label. They must have found, based on that CD Japan listing, new old stock someplace in a back room and just put it up on their store. And I'm happy to have them, because I don't believe, maybe you guys will correct me, and I've opened up like a used one, you know, because you could see used ones on Amazon for 100 or 200 yen. But I'm pumped to have my own brand new copy, and I definitely don't have the DVD version of that guy. So kind of a cool find. They're not that much. With how you have to sell things in Japan, I'm pretty sure I paid the same 1890 yen that they would have been back in the day, and the same 2100 yen, because that's like what's on the thing, and it's still brand new and box sealed. I don't know the rules around that. I do know that here, you can even see this is like only on old ones are they peeling up like that. Like it's already starting to like unwrap itself which I will eventually do. If you're like, oh, you're gonna keep it wrapped. Nope. Nope. We're just not gonna wrap it right now. I should probably check the discs if it is in fact like the CD Japan comment where like, ooh, maybe cracked or damaged. Like I think it's being sold more as a collector's item, because at this point we are 20 years past that being new, and that is starting to get into like the lifespan of a CD, especially if you had written it. And a lot of the early CD Japan, or sorry, 9mm Parabellum Bolt stuff was actually like their very first one, which I think I know of now 2 people in the community that have it. I do not have it, but it was just a burned CD, because that's like, I mean, it's kind of like how the original Boom Boom satellites was a tape, like a tape that they copied themselves. That's what was their demo tape, and the jackets were handwritten. We got big old box here. I gotta figure out where to open up. This one from CD Japan. This should be a new order. I don't know that it's big enough for vinyl. Woo! Yeah, we got some stuff in here. Your song is good. Yeah. Always good to have them. AKG. New single looks like. Theater Brook. Vinyl. Oh, yeah, exclusive vinyl single, I believe. Blanky Jet City. Vinyl and a Blu-ray. Really? And then GALNERYUS Blu-ray. I think that's their new album. This is the crinkled paper I'm used to. One of them bubbles. Back in my day, we didn't use no bubbles. It's the first goodie we've got here. Ooh, Theater Brook. If you want to listen to some music that is like the dude, the singer / guitarist is like, he embodies rock and roll differently than say Guitar Wolf would, but definitely like your 60s and 70s, and especially 70s rock and roll. So it looks like we've got 2 45s here. We got Theater Brook. That's when they're much younger than even there. 45, side A and side B. If I recall, this was just a little single. I think, was this a repro? 30th anniversary repro? Yep, just a simple 45. Hey, glad to have it in the collection. Originally 1997. This is a 2025 repressing. So, well, it actually says 1997, 2010, so it might be... I'd have to look up the exact tracks. I'm not capable of reading that. Apologies. But yeah, 1997, 2010, so it might be in 1997, 2010, and then repressing in 2025. There you go. 2025, 625. You will see a little bit of a mishmash of stuff here. Because often when I order, for those that don't know, when I order from Japan, I do try to bundle it up. So normally I'll try to do 3 months. So in this case, this might be May, June, July, or it could be June, July, August. Just because I'll try to catch the end of, say, May, all of June, beginning of July, or something like that. And then obviously it takes a little bit of time for them to get it together. Or like these guys, I almost exceeded the 30 days. Like I waited and waited to ship this. Turns out these popped up and I consolidated it. So these came in and I had them consolidate and ship in one shipment to save on money, because obviously shipping this is pretty much the same internationally as shipping this together. Same sort of thing with this is about the size, the maximum they'll go. There you go, Blanky Jet City, Sweet Days Derringer, another 45. And that would have been what? This re-release is 2020, 26, 122? What? I don't know how that math works. Did it come out early or something? And this says 2025, 7/23. $2025, 12/24. $2025 is definitely on there. So maybe this was supposed to come out later based on that. I know some of these shifted date. Like you said, Derringer. When would this already been out? 1998. So that's why I'm kind of pumped picking these re-pros out, because I wasn't around when they originally been available. If even they were originally on LP, a lot of them weren't. Or this wouldn't be LP, this would be EP, I guess. Sometimes I can find secondhand vinyl. Vinyl is far less common than secondhand CDs from Japan. It does happen. I've got, some of you might have seen, I got some poly sticks. That's the only way I've gotten Your Song Is Good, for the most part. I did not get the new TK release that was done on vinyl. It was limited to 1,000 pieces. I didn't even know about it probably before they sold out of 1,000 pieces. There we go. We have the OG re-released in vinyl. YSIG. If you guys want some like mix between, I was gonna say jazz, some songs maybe, but more like ska, reggae, calypso, Your Song Is Good. If you just need a vibe, I don't know of anybody, especially like if you're into like ska, or if you don't know you're in ska, nobody can listen to ska and be grumpy. I'm just gonna tell you, if I'm having a bad day, toss on some Your Song Is Good, and I am, there you go, redesign, 2025 version, Kaku, that's the label number, 222. Dude, Shortcake Part 4. The fact that original Shortcake is only on like a really rare, Part 2 is really good. But the original Shortcake that all of this came out of is only available on like a fairly rare mini album, from what I recall off the top of my head. So we just got our standard black re-release here. Nothing crazy like you saw with some of the Blanky Jet City, or maybe Tokyo Ska. Yeah, nothing like super, like those are all dual, super high quality sleeves, etc. Yada 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 yada. Like remastered directly from vinyl, you know, that sort of. There you go. That would have been the original, I think. Original album cover. I've never even seen that one. I only got into Your Song Is Good in the recent years. And this was actually one. Turns out I had heard them because they have performed with Beat Crusaders before, as well as Tokyo Ska Para, I believe, and some others. So I've actually heard their music before. Didn't know it. When I went back further, I was like, oh, there are actually tracks I really like that I just didn't know were theirs, right? Now, what tipped it off, right? Right here. They did the opening and some of the soundtrack for one of the best anime out there. If you like Slice of Life, Hozuki's Cool-Headedness. And I had to figure out who did the OP. And it's based on one of their normal songs, but then adapted to be sung by all the different voice actors of the different characters and stuff like that. So, like, if you want a chill anime that's a vibe, that there is a chill anime that is a vibe. It's basically about King Enma's right-hand man, and how he actually runs Hell, not King Enma, and all this stuff. Imagine like a slice of life. What would you call that? Like a normal office, like a slice of life about an office job, except the office job is managing Hell instead of a normal factory. Like it's like I said, I would argue it's in my Watch plus tier 0 anime for me personally. There's a big chonker in there. This ship 722. Yeah, sounds about right. We're only a wee bit behind, right? You guys won't fault me for that, right? YSIG. Do. If you end up liking them, check out High Fauna. And just listening to him yesterday. I covered him a whole bunch in these videos. My brain is farting. Something Jam Unit. My brain has melted, and I can no longer comprehend or see numbers. Indigo Jam Unit, and then they're like kind of sister band, Bottom Rhythm Jam. Let me see. I forgot this even came in. We got some other YSIG. There you go. Hot, hot, hot. I have the Action. So they have re-released some more vinyl. That's their self-titled album right there. YSIG. I personally, when working, and just in general, I listen to music when I listen to music. And you're like, well, you can't do that while you're working. That's actually part of the reason I think I'm attracted to Japanese music, is because I can enjoy the music without brain processing the lyrics. And Your Song Is Good has barely any lyrics, even in Japanese. Okay, so I'm gonna make a joke. I've said before, if it was socially acceptable to just go around wearing a headlamp, I would. So I needed more light when doing something. Immediately, because it was still in my head, just turned it on. Yeah. Especially with this apparently there's an updated version of this headband I put on here, which is it's a zebra. A Skill Hunt, sorry, Skill Hunt headband, much nicer than the Army Tech. Apparently, there's a newer version that's even better. I gotta pick one of those up and give it a shot. See if it fixes my Army Tech headlamps. Like these are the Skill Hunt ones are so comfortable with the different weave of the fabric and the silicone liner that actually grips your head and doesn't slip on your hair. That I forget I'm wearing it. Okay, so GALNERYUS, the Rising of the New Legacy. So this is, from my understanding, their new live, the Legacy year 2023 and the Rising year 2024. So it's 2 lives. They're Singapore. They're doing a digest. For those wondering what that is basically they take what they feel to be the best performances from multiple, like basically from the tour, and they cut it together. That's how it's a digest. Sometimes it's also not the full song, which I get bummed about. But sometimes they want to do, say, an hour and a half or less, but they want to fit like every song they perform. So they're going to do like the most popular parts of, especially the most popular songs. So the 2023 is a digest of Singapore and Taipei. And the Rising year 2025, it doesn't say digest, but it says China Tour 2024, Shenzhen and Guangzhou. No, I forget what the ZH sound is in my brain here. Oh, so those are bonus features. So that's bonus features is from that tour. These are actually from the 2023 1230, which is live at Garden Shinkiba Factory. I don't know that I watched that one. And live at Tachikawa Stage Garden, 2024 1222. One of those two I did watch, because often, because they have all the gear set up to record it, live stream it, no problemo, right? So pick that up. This is an awfully light feeling box, but we got 2 CDs, 2 Blu-rays in there. I would say, well, yeah, there we go, Warner Music Japan. That is something that GALNERYUS really doesn't focus on, is like packaging. But I don't believe this one was wasn't cheap. But could be worse. I wouldn't also mind seeing some better packaging here. Not saying it's bad, but the TK Lintoshite Shigure, the high-end Asian Kung Fu Generation stuff. I mean, like, all these are really, really big names. So, I've also got 9mm Parabellum Bolt. At least their live ones are packaged immaculately. I'm sure you guys that have watched this video of me unboxing some of these, and I know I did have from some of you some requests to open up some of the more limited edition ones, like I did with the Bump of Chicken. The room is a mess at the moment, but once I get through opening the remaining items, and they're piling up, and doing videos on those, hopefully I can get back around. Because I think some of you wanted the blue Lintoshite Shigure one. And I forget, somebody else requested something else. I do have those pinned and saved, those comments. Also, why do this? Why get this? I don't get the singles. Most people do not get the you can stream these, no problem. You don't get the singles for the single. You get it for the CD plus Blu-ray. And this is from Nanomugen Fest 2025, which this is the first time. There you go. Oh, sorry. This 2 is actually an old one they re-released, a 2005 Nanomugen Fest performance at Yokohama Arena, because in 2025, for the first time in I think 10 years roughly, Nanomugen Fest is coming back, and that is the festival that Asia Kung Fu Generation puts on, and they choose the bands for it. There even been U.S. or Western, I think some of them have been British, but like Western bands at this as well. So once again, like stuff like the festivals, especially when they're put on by like a specific band, or Guitar Wolf puts on a festival. If you like Guitar Wolf as like their sound as a genre, you will find a ton more people or a ton more bands and artists that are adjacent, because that's why they're there. And even at the last Guitar Wolf one, Puffy Amiyumi showed up. That's because Guitar Wolf in their Teen Titans song played guitar for them on that. You can like he has his own part and everything, and they actually cite him as an influence, which is awesome. And then that they would still do, because that's like a little podunk festival, you know. They're still vibing, which is awesome. And I'm happy to see that Asian Kung Fu Generation is bringing back their festival, because there's actually a lot of artists that I found through there, and often I listen to, because they'll put out like a compilation of what they feel like is the artist's best track from the festival, and I have almost all of those, and they're in my normal repertoire when I hit shuffle. I think 10 Feet has one or two performances on those. Here we go. Blanky Jet City. Last Dance complete box. Wait for it. Yeah. Couldn't pass this one up. I can tell you, I think this was more than the entire rest of everything you saw, though. It's kind of like the ACT release stuff from 9mm Parabellum Bolt. Though the last one I think was pretty reasonable. 6 discs, 2 Blu-rays, 4 SHM CDs. So not even just normal CDs. SHM are just the ones made of better plastic. They should last longer. They're much stiffer. They're not the blue spec, which you need to read with the Blu-ray drive if you want the better sound, but they still would read with a... I think blue spec also are still like, they read more accurately, but the data is still on them. Like you read them with a Blu-ray one, but the data is still Redbook spec CD audio, and you can still read it with Redbook spec CDs, so those are weird. There's SA CDs, those are the good ones. That's what I have the whole Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra discography in, because that has DSD on there. I think it's DSD 64, that's going to be better than even your high-res 24-bit 192 kilohertz FLAC. And SHM CD, a lot of the re-releases I've seen, like 9mm did theirs in that as well. It's just like for a higher quality release, if that makes sense. Like, and I can appreciate that. Like, if you're gonna make this really nice box, you might as well put the best quality discs in there. Like, if you made sure the digital bits or the analog bits in here is quality, you might as well make sure that the physical stuff you put it on is also quality. So Last Dance Day 1 plus Last Dance Prologue. Last Dance Day 1 live album version of that is on the CD in there. Then we have Last Dance Day 2. Then we have the live album on the CD. Then we have a photo book. That's the chonky boy at the bottom. Then we have lots of Japanese I can't read. So this is from, what I can tell, 2000? Kitten on my shoulder. Kitten. Yeah? What are you're stuck in me with your long claws. Yeah. Paisley Marie. Yeah, she just jumped up the back of my chair, onto my shoulder, and now down over here. 2025 Universal Music. So it makes sense that it's SHM, because the re-releases from 9mm were also done at the time by Universal. Paisley, you're kind of in the way of everybody. Did you know that, Paisley Marie? I know you don't care, but your butt's in my face, kitten. So this was what? 6 discs, 2 Blu-ray, 4... Okay, so they must require multiple CDs to do the full live album variants. It doesn't say 2 here, but... Oh, it does say 2. I'm blind. Paisley, no. You're going to throw all my receipts on the floor. Paisley Marie. Hey. Hey. Gosh darn kitten. Yeah, you're the one that dumped my pen thing over too, Paisley. Wrecked some of my pens? Yeah? That's probably the reason why I gotta clean up around here. There you go. SHM is just super high material CD. It's just like better quality acrylic, or like I say, or I think there's a specific definition that they do feel stiffer in the hand, and they have like a nicer feel. I believe they're better off long term. The actual digital format on them is still the Redbook CD, which pretty much, I mean, it's 16-bit 441. I forget why that was like 441 over 48. I don't think 48 kilohertz was like nowadays. That's kind of standard. That was standardized for TV. 441 might have been for length purposes, like how much, because if you would have gone to 48, it could have fit less on the CD. I remember watching some stuff that was explaining why, but basically 48 hadn't been standardized yet at that point. And 441 was like previously in use, I think, in something for Sony, and half that was in use for something else. So they said, yeah, sure. And they went with that. But nowadays, like, 2448 is pretty much what you'll see as a minimum if we're talking any sort of playback DAC amp. Like, I think 2496 is natively supported on most things, even your phone nowadays. But yeah, it's actually quite surprising. Like, don't forget, like, that's not the only thing, because like, like your audio listening on Spotify is still 16-bit 441 more than likely. Now Spotify does have some stuff mastered specifically for them that may be like 24-bit derivative, but it's still lossy. So like your CD though, you gotta remember that's like the OG lossless format for digital. It's by no means bad. Let's put it that way. Like a lot of people are like, oh, why would I do, sounds the same, blah blah. No, like a good CD with a good DAC and amp in there, like just quality components, even if it's like a Sony player from the 90s, is gonna sound definitely better than a lot of the streaming stuff, especially off places like YouTube, where like they use Opus, which is more, it's like a modern version of Speaks, so it's more optimized for vocal, like speaking, which is what I'm doing right now to you. Which makes audio take a hit, especially because a lot of music is full range. you know. But yeah, this is a hefty chonker. Happy to have this in the collection. There are much, I believe you could get just the Blu-ray version. You could get just the CD version as well, not SHM. If you're going to pay the money and you want this as part of your collection, and as you know, I've been getting all of the Blanky Jet City stuff, like their vinyls that are remastered from analog sources, analog put on analog, which is that vinyl, which is the way it should be. If you're remastering, like if you're remastering an analog source and you're doing it properly, obviously, why would you not want to listen to it on, you know, like that would be like reprinting of like a standard photograph from a negative, right? And then like not printing it out physically, only making it available digitally. No, you might do a limited print and still make it available digitally, but like for the people that want it, get them the giant blown up wall sized print, you know, done on proper machines. Possibly even done analog. It's hard to do nowadays. This is embossed. This is something you guys want to see opened up, let me know, and we can go through it sometime. Paisley is just doing insane stuff. She's now in the inside of